She is the winningest female at Hickory Motor Speedway, and just like with Stefan, an opportunity opened up for someone to join the field, and they entered the race, entered their car. She's really competitive, but drives all kinds of things. I don't really know as much as I'd like to about her career, but let's learn about her today, Katie. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So tell us where you're from first.
I'm from a small town, Dryden, from Michigan, so it is about 10 hours from here. I've lived there my whole life, and we travel down here about almost every weekend.
So where did you start racing? Was it up in Michigan? Did you start driving cars? Or?
Yeah, so my grandpa, Jim Hettinger, raced, but he mostly ran midgets. He was a really good midget racer, and then my dad started racing, and they both started in quarter midgets. So there were some tracks up by us, so I started racing quarter midgets when I was 5 years old. And I raced those till I was about 9, and we traveled all over for those. I won some championships, was pretty decent in those, and then when I was 10, I switched to dirt micros. So I ran 360s micros, and I raced those for about 2 years. And then in 2020, I won a junior late model championship up by us, and then we started coming down here, and I ran limited late models and late models for Matt Piercy.
So do you when you're living up in Michigan and racing up there, and you're just kind of enjoying every opportunity you can get, when you learned that you might come all the way down here to race, what was your initial reaction?
Well, in 2020 when I won the junior late model championship, that we raced in Indiana, Ohio, and I would never think that I'd come down here. Ever since I started racing, I wanted to get to NASCAR. I wanted to win a cup championship. But I never thought I'd be coming down here almost every weekend racing down here. So when my dad told me the winter of 2020, we were down here almost every weekend testing with Matt. And then we didn't really have success in 2021 in limited late models until the end of the season. And I won the Bobby Isaac in the limited late model. And then the next weekend we went down, I won in late model stock. So I would have never thought we'd be coming down here.
So your family, you still live up there, and y'all travel quite a bit. I mean, how do you make that work? What are the things you got going on in your life that sort of have to sacrifice a little bit for your racing career?
My parents help a lot with it. I give them all the credit for everything. They sacrifice so much, but I am a sophomore in high school, so I miss a lot of school. We raced last weekend at Motor Mile with Cars Tour, and I missed some school for that. So Monday I went into school, and I asked for my work from last week.
Back in Michigan.
Yeah, and then I had to tell them that I needed work for this week because I got the call that I'd be here. So it's hard sometimes struggling with school, and then I also am on the varsity volleyball and basketball team. So I miss a lot of practice for that, but my school and town knows about racing, so they all support me.
That's good. So everybody's pretty understanding about, your schedule. And, I mean, certainly I know you're very blessed and excited to have these opportunities, but I mean, at any point, are you just drained physically and mentally with that type of a schedule?
I mean, last night I was pretty tired qualifying at 1:30 in the morning, but racing has always been what I want to do, so I will pretty much sacrifice as much as I can to get this, and I'm so thankful my family backs me up for it because that is my dream. So everyone who helps me, I can't thank them enough.
Well, we're excited to see you here this weekend, and when I heard that you were entered into the race, I was really excited because I first got to see you race this year over at Hickory, and just impressed by your ability and speed and the pace you have. All the things as far as racecraft, all those things come in time, and you get better with every race, but you have raw ability, and that's the key thing. If you don't have that, you can't never really develop it, and so. Who all is supporting you to have these opportunities? Who are some of the people? I know that Chevrolet's in your corner, excited about your future, but talk about some of the other people. I know you mentioned your parents, but you have other partners, I'm sure.
Yeah, Matt Piercy, who I drive for, he helps a lot. He gives me a great car every weekend. Lauren Rainier, he helps me a ton. He gets us...
Lauren Rainier is a big name in motorsports. And I wanted to make sure everybody understands the connection. So y'all remember the 28 car Hardys the Gray Ghost that Buddy Baker won the 1980 Daytona 500 with. That's the Lanier family, and he's part of that. He's a son of that family. So he is kind of like an agent in a sense, kind of helping point out or highlight some really talented people all across the country that may deserve opportunities. And it's a guy that Junior Motorsports or Chevrolet really listens to in terms of, hey, man, I think this person is somebody to look at. Pay attention to this driver when you go to the racetrack this weekend. So that's a great person to have in your corner supporting you.
Yeah, in 2020, he told me that this weekend I was going to be like, him working with me, he was going to be a second dad to me. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. Like, I just met you. And now he is. Now I'm asking him if I can stay at his house this weekend. Like, he's a really cool dude. He helps me with a lot. He understands. So he helps me a lot. My parents, my sponsors, Team Chevy, Victory Custom Trailers, Fram Filters, Autolite Spark Plugs. And then we just got the Central Logistics. They came on board for this race, so they're helping a lot too. So I can't thank them enough.
So you got some opportunity to run some laps yesterday. I saw you out on the track, and what was your kind of first impression?
Well, at first I got 4 laps in the rain, so I was just trying to learn how to run the track because I didn't get any simulator time or anything on this because I found out Monday night that I was coming down. So I was really just watched a bunch of videos and just tried to learn the line and everything. I tried to follow you sometimes to learn the line. But it is a really cool track. I'm so glad I'm getting able to race here because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So it's a really cool track. I really have to save my tires in the race, so I hope I can do that.
Me too. I've never run late models. I haven't raced in a competitive late model race since 1997. Really, really long time ago. And back then, we didn't think about saving tires. I raced at Myrtle Beach, and it's one of the most abrasive tracks, or was one of the most abrasive tracks out there, even back then. And but we didn't know. We just went, and with 40 laps into the race of a 100-lap weekly feature, we were done, and we didn't know any better. We didn't ever think maybe we should try to take care of our tires. We just went as hard as we could every lap. But now it's so important, in the late model car to also be smart with your tires. And so talk about that a little bit. I know you raced Hickory a lot, and that's critical at Hickory. Even in a short feature, you have to be smart about slipping the tires. So talk about some of the techniques or some of the things you really pay attention to or don't want to do, try not to do during the race.
Yeah, so I've never really ran at a track where I have to save my tires, like as much as I do here. I never got to run at Myrtle Beach. So at Hickory, usually, like, if I get in the lead in the first lap, in the first 40, then we just save like the last 20 laps. So then we have it for the second race. So this one, I think I just need to be patient, run the first couple laps on starts hard, and then just try and save as much as I can because this is all a big learning experience for me. I'm just happy to be here. So it would be amazing to win, but that's not really what my overall goal is here. I just want to finish the race, hopefully a top 10, and just be smart.
That's my goal. Same goal. I kind of want to know what you're thinking about your future. I know you're still in high school, and it's probably a terrible question to ask, but when you dream about your future, what's in that dream? What car are you driving, and where are you racing?
Well, my mom works at General Motors, so I really want to drive for a Chevy team. But overall, my overall goal is to run in the NASCAR Cup Series. But I don't want to just get there. I want to win a championship. So at the end of this year, we're going to run Phoenix and Las Vegas in an ARCA car.
Really?
So
awesome.
The announcement is coming out next week for details
on
that.
So the announcement not out yet. You guys will hear about this sooner. Consider yourself very lucky.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure probably everyone said this, but I would love to drive for you. Just putting that out there.
I would love for you to drive for us. I would love that.
And so really, like in high school, everyone's like, what do you want to do for your job? And I really hope racing works out because I don't know what I want to do other than drive race cars.
Yeah, that's the way I was too. No plan B. I think that when you're as young as you are, it's hard to be patient. So, are you able? With Lauren helping you, is everybody sort of keeping you mentally just kind of like, look, man, go out here today, run this race, have fun, don't worry about next year. Is it easier for you to kind of just focus on what you're doing in the car and not really have to worry about like, oh my gosh, is everything ready for the next thing? Is the next opportunity ready? Are we gonna because I will say this. I guess the best way to explain this is when I was in your shoes, I did not enjoy what I was doing because I was so worried about making it. And even with my last name, I knew that, like you say, in the Cup Series, there's 40 cars, so there's 40 guys. And that's the only 40 in this whole country and whole world that get to do that on Sunday. And so I thought, yeah, even with all the open doors that I was going to have, it would still be hard to expect that to happen. So I think I didn't enjoy what you're doing now as much as I should have. But talk about that, because, I mean, it's hard to, you definitely want to have fun what you're doing, but it's hard not to be competitive and think about the future.
Yeah, I'm a very competitive person. I thank my dad for that. But him, Lauren, and Matt, they all keep me at bay, and they tell me that I will have a spot. I get told a lot that I have a future in racing. It's just hard because I'm a very competitive person, and I see kids my age who are doing well and moving up. William Sawallich, he's one of my biggest competitors. He's a good driver, and he's my age. So I see that, and I worry because I'm like, I want to get there. Am I not doing well? I tested a Trans Am car last week, and when I first got in one, I wasn't good. And Carson Quapple gets in one, and he's doing so good. And so I was, like, worried about that, and I was like, I don't know, Dad. Like, am I just not good for this? But by the end of that day, I was having so much fun. So I think I just need to trust everyone who's behind me and just focus on doing good in the races.
Yeah, that's such a hard thing to do at that age. It drove me crazy because I was really living some of the best times of my life and didn't realize it. And I think that may be the same case for you. This is an incredible time in your life, but sometimes being uber focused on the next thing or the next opportunity doesn't allow you to really see that, right? But I'm excited for you. I really am, and I hope that I hear your name a lot over the next several years, and we would love to be partners one day and have you driving our race cars. So going to keep my eye on you. Thanks for being here today and sharing with these folks. Tell them about your race car, what it looks like, so they'll be able to pull for you out on the racetrack tonight.
I'm driving the white and pink number 71 late model, so it's got Chevrolet on the side of it and Victory on the hood. So,
and hopefully it's in Victory Lane tonight. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Yep.